Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube NFL prediction segment, I'm going to be giving you my picks and analysis for Week 9 of the 2015 NFL season. The first game, Cincinnati, I'm going to take them at home over the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland did beat them last season, I believe 24-3 at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is going to be seeking retribution. Cincinnati is going for an unblemished, infallible 8-0 mark. I think they will get this. Cleveland has showed significant improvement this season. They're also 3-2 in the last 5 of theirs versus the Bengals. But Cleveland is number 31 in rushing yards per game, and if they're going to have to be forced to just throw, I don't like the sound of that for Cleveland. And I believe Cleveland, even though they are improved and they might make this a competitive game, I like the Bengals with Dalton in this game. And I think this is a team that might actually win a postseason game this season. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Green Bay Packers very reluctantly over the Carolina Panthers. Now, Green Bay is coming off being plastered by Denver, and they were having all kinds of difficulty, I believe, sustaining drives and converting third downs and all that stuff, and which is really uncharacteristic for a very dominant Green Bay offensive team and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers threw for a putrid 77 yards. That was one of his worst performances ever. Carolina's, they're kind of paradoxical. I mean, they're one of the worst in total offense in the league, but they still manage to generate points. So what it's telling me, their drives are not consisting of a lot of yards for whatever reason. Perhaps they're getting turnovers. Maybe their defense is getting turnovers, generating turnovers for them in the opponent's territory, and they're not driving much to score. But whatever the reason, I thought that was very interesting. And there was something on Yahoo or ESPN that was talking about Cam Newton is getting better with audibles or something, and he's showing, and I think he's showing maturation as a team, as a player right now. Green Bay, however, is going to, they're going to do what they can to redeem themselves, and I'm going to take Green Bay to beat Carolina on the road in this one. Now, the next game, I'm going to take New England. Don't be flabbergasted or in a state of shock, people. New England at home to defeat the Washington Redskins, and New England is averaging almost 36 points per game. We know they got Brady, Gronkowski, and Belichick, and a pleasant surprise perhaps for New England is Chandler Jones has 8.5 sacks among the league leaders, and they're clicking on all cylinders right now. They're out with a vengeance this season, and I think New England, it's conceivable they may go 14-2. Washington has shown to be more competitive this season, perhaps in past recent seasons. Kirk Cousins has played adequately, and their average loss is only by 9.5 points. So even in their losses, they're not playing bad. But New England being at home, and New England has been obviously, though not invincible, very dominant over the recent years at home, and I like them, and I am going to pick them to win at New England. Now, New Orleans, I'm going to take them at home over the Tennessee Titans. Now, New Orleans, the one thing I'm wondering about is the fatigue factor for all that energy that was expended in last week's game against the New York Giants with the 52 points and the 7 TD passes by Drew Brees, a lot of passing attempts, I'm sure. But this team has been on a rampage. They have been playing very well lately. They're number 3 in passing as far as passing goes, and they've scored nearly 32 points per game in the last 4 on average, while the Tennessee Titans have only averaged about 9 points per game in the last 4 games. Their pass defense, though heralded, it's a little bit deceptive because a lot of that's attributed to the fact that teams can run on the Tennessee Titans. And this is a team that the Tennessee Titans, whether Mariota comes back or not, I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. New Orleans is just on a roll right now. They are at home, and I'm going to take the Saints at home. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills to win at home over the Miami Dolphins. If any of the games are a coin flip, I think it's this one. Well, the Buffalo has dominated recently, over the Finns, 4 of the last 5 over the Dolphins, and Tyrod Taylor appears to be coming back, and I think that will help their prospects a little. They did dismantle Miami the last time they did play them, and you look at this, they have really played. Buffalo has not played to their potential, and that was a very long ride in more ways for one than one for Rex Ryan after that demoralizing loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Miami is 0-3 versus the division this season. They have shown a little bit, somewhat rejuvenated with their new coach, but they got plastered in their last game, annihilated by New England. I think it was a wake-up call for them. I anticipate it to be a close game, but I like Buffalo to win in a close one. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings at home over the St. Louis Rams. The Minnesota Vikings have been on a roll. Speaking of a rampage, this is a team that has definitely been on one. They have won 5 of their last 6 games. Adrian Peterson, of course, one of the better running backs in the league right now. Minnesota is 20-7 in their last 27 at home. They're 20-7 since 2012. Now, St. Louis, you talk about significant improvement. This is a team right now that is playing very, 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 very well. They are number 2 and tied for second in sacks with 26. Their pass rush is very formidable, to say the least. Being 4-3, the running back Todd Gurley is putting up all kinds of gaudy numbers. He's number 5 in the league in rushing yards with 575. So they got their running game going. If the offense continues to play well and it can complement the defense, this is a team that maybe they got an outside shot of making the postseason. I'm not ruling it out of the realm of possibility. They probably won't, but I think it's more conceivable to say that now than if we were to speculate on that at the beginning of the season. But I do like Minnesota because mainly on virtue of the home field advantage, and they have played very well at home in recent seasons. So I'm going to take them to defeat the St. Louis Rams. Now, the next game. Now, the New York Jets, they're a team that's was fairly battered last week against the Oakland Raiders, and there's all kinds of talk and there's conjecture of who's going to be starting quarterback for the Jets this coming week. And to me, I'm really not. I'm somewhat concerned of it, but I think what the positive for the Jets is that they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, don't get me wrong, Jacksonville has been competitive the last few games or so, and they did defeat the Buffalo Bills in the last game. I realized that the Jets have the number 1 run defense right now, about 78 yards per game allowed, which is it's still very good. I expect the Jets defense to show up in this game and might compensate for their lack of maybe the ineptitude over on offense as far as their quarterback goes. Now, if you look at the Jacksonville Jaguars, they're number 31 in scoring defense, so they do give up. Their defense is obviously still not very good. They're 8-35 in the last 43 road games. They have not won, if I'm not mistaken, they haven't won. Let's see my notes here. They haven't won a road game since 2013. So to me, I don't see them winning this one. I'm going to take the New York Jets. Jets are really. What I noticed too was interesting stat for the New York Jets. They were number 1 in touchdown red zone scoring percentage of 72%. I thought that was very impressive. That's obviously going to diminish maybe over the next few weeks, depending on how long Ryan Fitzpatrick is out. But I still like the Jets to win at home. Now, next game, I want to take the Pittsburgh Steelers to defeat the Oakland Raiders. Pittsburgh, I can understand being a little skeptical about them right now. They did not look good at all last week. I know they played the Bengals. It was a divisional foe. Cincinnati Bengals are playing at a very high level right now. I don't see Big Ben losing 2 consecutive games as a starting quarterback. Oakland Raiders have really shown they're a team to be reckoned with. Their offense especially has played well. In their wins, they've averaged about 34 points in those wins scored. Now, as far as points scored, and saying they've superseded expectations is an understatement. the free safety Charles Woodson is leading the NFL in interceptions. So they do have playmaking ability on this team, and this is a game. If you were to tell me at the beginning of the season who's going to definitely win this game, I mean Pittsburgh in a landslide. But now it's conceivable to think that Oakland might be able to go in there and actually win this game, and I would not be shocked if they do. But I'm going to take Pittsburgh in a close one at home. Now the next game, I'm going to take the New York Giants to win on the road over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the New York Giants are facing a similar dilemma in a way that the Saints are, because of the exhaustion factor from all that energy that was expended in that game. And to go on the road, the team is one of the worst in total defense in the NFL. They are one of the better ones in terms of interceptions, though. They have 13 INTs, I believe, few. But this is a team also that's going to have to get to Tampa Bay, and their pass rush is going to have to improve in this game, I think, for them to assure them of a victory. For Tampa Bay, quarterback Jameis Winston, I think, is showing some progression and really maturation as a quarterback. They've won 2 of 3, and Tampa Bay surprisingly is number 4 right now in rushing yards per game. So if they could dominate time of possession, control this game, and play and not turn the ball over, they may beat the Giants in this one. But I'm going to take the Giants to win this on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Atlanta Falcons are on the road to defeat the San Francisco 49ers. Neither one of these teams are playing stupendous right now. Atlanta lost a game I felt they should have won last week. That should have been at least a 10-point win for Atlanta, but they didn't get the job done. Now, I believe they had one of their wide receivers out, and I did not know about the status as far as this week goes. However, you still have the lethal deadly combination with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. And they also have running back Devonta Freeman, number 1 in rushing yards in the league. So they do have some proponents on offense, which should still give them the victory in this game, I believe. San Francisco, dead last in scoring offense at 13.6 points per game. Number 3, they're also near the bottom of the barrel in time of possession, as far as what they average per game. So that would have to improve in this game for them to have any shot of winning. I know they got they have 2 of the leaders in tackles in the NFL, and really in Navarro Bauman, I believe his name is one of them. And they might have to do a lot of tackling in this particular game. I do like the Atlanta Falcons to win this one on the road. Now the next game, I'm going to take the Denver Broncos. There's not enough superlatives to say about Denver right now as far as their defense. Now, Peyton Manning has not been the scintillating passer he has been in recent time, but he played well enough to help get them the victory. And the Denver defense is just really phenomenal. Number 1 in total defense, scoring defense, and the sacks that they have are 29 right now. So this defense is what's really doing the job for them right now. They won by 19 last week, but before that, and even including this game, their average win per game is not that much. It's under 10 is what I know. I think it's around 8 is their average margin of victory. And I think they're going to be seeking retribution in this game against the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Colts, Andrew Luck is is really what's surprising me, having one of the worst quarterback ratings in the league. I guess the departure of Reggie Wayne is really factoring in immensely in terms of what they've been able to do or not been able to do on the offensive end. I expect Denver to go in exact vengeance on the Colts, and I see Denver winning this one. And that's who I'm picking to win this game. Now, the next game, I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles on the road to defeat the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas has no Tony Romo. They're -8 in turnover differential. I see Philadelphia causing some turnovers, causing some mishaps for the Dallas quarterback. Now, they've been one of the better teams also, the Eagles, coming off the bye week in the last 15 seasons or so. So this is a team I think will be well rested and prepared to win this game, and I do like Philadelphia to go on the road and defeat a depleted Dallas Cowboys team. Now, the next game, San Diego, I'm going to take at home over the Chicago Bears. Now, the San Diego Chargers, the thing about them is that they're putting up all these prodigious numbers on offense, but they're not getting the wins to show for it. I mean, they have the #1 passer in the NFL with Phillip Rivers in terms of yards thrown, but Keenan Allen is going to be out their receiver, and he has a kidney injury, so this definitely going to play a significant role in terms of impacting this game. Now, however, Chicago, to me, has just not played really that well at all. They had one win by 1 point, I believe, over Kansas City, and I think they had another one. I think they got 2 wins this season. Now, running back Matt Forte may miss this game, so that's kind of the equalizer in terms of Keenan Allen being out for the Chargers, Matt Forte, and really, is it going to be their forte to throw the ball in this particular game, or is Jay Cutler going to outduel Phillip Rivers? I just don't see it happening, and I see the Chargers emerging victorious in this one. Well, anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube NFL prediction segment for my Week 9 NFL picks for the 2015 season, and stay tuned next time for my Week 10 NFL picks for the 2015 season. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying, stay well.